I'm delighted to be able to talk to you about a product that we've been working on for quite some time, and I wanted to start with this little video here. If I sound.
Nå kan de lure på hvor jeg kommer fra. Kjent fra kongens til gata. Peppa det. Hadde min rana på saken.
So the reason I'm showing you this little guy, his name is Tollef. He's 2.5 years old now. And this is just about the time when we started building this product. And he's actually the reason why we started building this. So Tollef was born with Down syndrome. And when you get a kid with Down syndrome, you are thrown into emotional roller coaster, and you start looking for answers. What is tomorrow going to look like? What is next year going to look like? What's it going to look like in 5 years? And you Google, and Google will give you some good answers and some bad answers, and a lot of intimidating answers. So it was when we found this group on Facebook that's called Norwegian Network for Down Syndrome that we felt that at least some emotional connection with people that were in the same situation as us. My presenter notes went away, but that's okay. And people discuss here all the time. So of course they will give happy birthday pictures and so on. But in this group has 3,000 parents, doctors, specialists that will discuss. And they discuss in the comment threads, which is fantastic, until you realize that the comments that they're giving is useful to me maybe in 2 years, or in 5 years, or in 10 years. And how can I find this content when it's drowned in Facebook like that? I'm losing myself here, sorry for this. I'll just do like this. This is a goldmine of knowledge and experiences. But how do you separate with the content, what content is good and what content is bad, and how can you find the content when you actually need it? And we call this the knowledge drain. The tools that we use today, everyone here probably uses Slack, or you work, now you even have Facebook at work. It's made for consumption, not for retraceability. And this is a big problem because we are now discussing and thinking in one-liners, and none of us are actually sitting down to have a well-thought rationale that we can present to one another and discuss when it's relevant and so on. And in my case, the common knowledge from my niche, which is Down syndrome, is just too valuable to just let it fade away. So this was really something that annoyed me a lot, and we wanted to try and make something to help with this. So we've been building something that we call niche in English. We call it a social knowledge sharing platform, where the idea is it should be consumed how we're used to from other social platforms on any device, but with the structure and retraceability of a good old forum or knowledge base. And when we have this in place, what you end up with is a feed without the repetition, where people are discussing the same things over and over again. And also, the advice you give today can be found by others in 2 years and 5 years. So you can build knowledge exponentially in a way, and create value through knowledge. So our goal is to facilitate, cultivate, accumulate, structure, and consume knowledge. Here my presenter notes are gone, so and what we saw then, that we made a platform that actually works for a bunch of verticals, because niches can be voluntary or involuntary. So in a professional organization, it can be involuntary, but that's a niche. When you get home, in my case, an interest group or Norwegian network for Down syndrome would be relevant. I'm also a cyclist, so a niche for people interested in cycling would be super relevant for me, where I can share and discuss with others. So that's the idea. Some people even like Star Wars. Yeah, so we create this for NGOs and interest groups. So a perfect case, other than the Norwegian Network for Down Syndrome, would, for instance, be the Cancer Society. Patients and relatives that can discuss and kind of drill down into the vertical that is interesting for them. And then also topic owners is relevant. So if you have an editorial site on sports, on football, on cycling, or any topic, it can be good to combine this with the community and then invite your audiences in to not only just share information between them, but also to help you not needing to be the creator of all the content. So this platform is a headless React application built on the WordPress REST API. There are some BuddyPress still left in there, but less and less. We have an app that's built on React Native, and we also have a couple of microservices that we plug in. We built a kind of a simple chat application from the bottom up to power this. So I would like to just show you real quick what it looks like. And I took the liberty to make a demo with Automatic here to show you what it could look like in their case. And the nice thing about being the almighty in this case is I can flip between different users. So in this case, I'm Matt. So one of the biggest changes that we've done from other social platforms is that we force the user to make a conscious decision on what they are sharing with you. On Facebook today, you're sharing a status, and the status is irrelevant. It doesn't give me any context to kind of to find this content again. So you can ask a question, you can start a discussion, you can publish a resource, you could share an experience, and you can share a status. So when I do this, you share the status, or share the anyone know about something, you tag it, and you can either share it to anyone, or you can give it context by selecting the group where it belongs. So let's say I want to publish this in VIP. My feed will consist of content from any group that I'm in. So I can pick a bunch of different groups like this and say I want to follow this group. Groups can be hidden, they can be secret, closed, or open to everyone. And a group is basically just a narrowed down version of the wall functionality. And I can filter the wall on the different types of content I put in. I can search for it. And the nice thing here, this is still a discussion. It looks like the same comment thread that you find on Facebook. But because I kind of gave it the discussion here, I have the kind of forum structure in the background here with tags and also the relevance of the group that it's in. Yeah. There are knowledge-based functionality. There are calendars, user-generated. We have the chat. No chats here, and so on. So most of the functionality that you would expect from a community or an intranet software as well. So, and of course, the mobile experience works since it's built up of cards, as you would expect from a social network like this. Yeah. So we're just about finishing up and getting a couple of these niches up and running. So the first one that we will make, which will be a good experience for us to have it live is for the National Library of Norway. They're launching this for all the libraries in Norway. So all the people working in libraries will now be connected, and you have big libraries, small libraries, school libraries, prison libraries, and all of a sudden they can share knowledge and kind of learn from each other. Another niche that I'm hoping to launch soon is one for enterprise WordPress. There are so many here with knowledge on how to work with WordPress for enterprises, but we're not really sharing knowledge or discussing this. So this is an invitation to you all that to open up and think of the knowledge that we have is just as valuable as the code that we share with each other. So hopefully we'll have this up and running, and then anyone who's interested can follow along and create an account, and hopefully we can have some good discussions there.